Good evening from Washington. I'm Larry O'Connor on this Friday before the all-important midterm elections, and we need to focus like a laser beam on this very, very important day in American history. You know him as the most important interviewer in America today, and when he's not making news with his incomparable discussions with America's top leaders, he's also giving us his brilliant insights as a pundit and an analyst. He is, of course, the dean of political commentary here at Salem. He's Hugh Hewitt. Hugh, thanks for joining us today.
I want a tape of that. I want that sent over to the studio. I want to play that 100 times because Larry O'Connor has never said anything remotely that nice to me in my life.
I don't know who hacked into our teleprompter, but you know, I say what they put in front of me, Hugh.
That's it. You're a newsreader, as they say in the United Kingdom.
Listen, before I actually got into this business, I listened to you on a daily basis. Now I can't listen to you because I don't want to, mistakenly copy one of your insights. But with learning at your husky knee, Hugh Hewitt, I have been educated enough to know that the way the media is talking about this election coming up and the way the Democrats are behaving, it ain't looking good for that side.
Oh, boy. Yeah. The Washington Post today had a headline that is as close to declaring it's over as they've had yet. And they're doing the hedge, which is as they get closer, they're trying to get closer to reality. And it's very amusing to watch, not just the Post, but all legacy media knows a big hammer is headed towards the Democrats. And so they have to try and pretend like everything they said for the last 3 months doesn't count. And now the electorate is shifting. What nonsense. By the way, Larry, can I bring up, it's your show. I don't want to bogart your show, but you stole my shtick with the governor of Virginia. I invented that. I'm the warden of the Collegiate Peaks. I asked to be made warden of the Potomac Ports, and you come in and you get named ambassador from Maryland to the Virginia wine country. I am agreed.
I am the official honorary ambassador to the Virginia wine country, duly appointed by the governor, Glenn Youngkin. Well, if you had interviewed Governor Youngkin at all over the last couple of years, I'm sure you would have built up some rapport with him, and he would have given you some sort of honorary title, Hugh.
As he noted on my show that morning that you stole my bit, I was the first and the earliest person to endorse our great governor in the Commonwealth. You interloper that you are, simply swooped in and took my shtick where you've been listening for years. But let Don.
All right, fine.
What's your over-under on the House and the Senate, Larry?
I'm looking at 27R in the House after Tuesday night. That's assuming that everything continues on pace right now, but I'm looking at a 27 House majority for Republicans. I think Kevin McCarthy is going to be a very happy man. And I also think Mitch McConnell is going to be a pretty happy man with, are you ready? Three Republican majority seat in the Senate. What do you think?
I had set my over and under at 25 in the House and 1 in the Senate.
One.
But I'm increasingly, I don't know that, I can't figure out Pennsylvania because we got another poll today that said Fetterman's up 6. I don't believe it, but there are 3 polls that say Fetterman, and I always had 6 points.
Yeah.
Which it might be a dead heat, but at least +1, maybe +3 in the Senate.
My +3, again, I think it's very instructive, Hugh, as to where the media isn't talking right now, where they aren't focusing. Ohio is done. Remember 6 weeks ago, Ohio was, that's going to be a pickup, right? Was 3 months ago, Ron Johnson, dead man walking, and they're not even talking about Wisconsin. I'm looking
in the race of his life. No, that's actually over.
Pick up in Georgia. I think in fact, the latest poll, you saw the Echelon poll, he's actually polling at 51, which would avoid that runoff, which would be critically important for the Republicans in Georgia. Adam Laxalt absolutely will win in Nevada. That's a big pickup. And the other pickup that just started to get on people's radar is New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire is very much in play now. What do you think?
Well, I do. I've had Don Boldock on the show. I didn't think he had a prayer. I endorsed his opponent, and I brought him on. But he did the right thing. He repudiated election denierism, and he said, okay, Biden won. And that was what he needed to do, and he did it quickly right afterwards. As soon as he did that, he began to catch up. Today, Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, who, if they're left alone in a room, one of them will be dead. They hate each other. They're both up there in New Hampshire campaigning for Maggie Hassan. And if I look at all the toss-ups, New Hampshire, Georgia, Arizona, O'Day is close in Colorado. Tiffany Smiley is close in Washington State, and I'm forgetting one. Oh, Nevada.
Nevada.
There are 6 Democrat seats at risk. Assume they they're all toss-ups. Half of them go to the Republicans. That's +3. That's your number, right?
That's it. And this is a momentum election at this point, I think, Hugh. And listen, we've been on the other side of this. In 2018, Republicans were on the other side of a wave and it is very challenging to get yourself out of your house on a cold November day and go pull that lever because you already think you're behind the 8 ball. And I think that's going to work in favor, especially out west in Nevada and Washington, as you said, for the Senate. And what about the Oregon governor's race?
Yeah, we're going to win. Don't you feel a little bit bad for the MSNBC people right now? Because you know what it's like in 06 going to work, or 08, when you know that Obama's just going to clobber McCain.
Yeah.
And you got to go to work every day and come up with something to talk about that doesn't just completely emotionally destroy your audience, but at the same time is true. So you'll find one bit of good news somewhere. And right now, Democrats can't find any good news anywhere.
Well, it's funny you should say that, especially coming off the heels of President Biden's remarkably tone-deaf and divisive speech on Wednesday, because I think this is a real danger. If you're just watching CNN and MSNBC right now, you think that this is neck and neck. You think democracy is at stake. So if the Republicans win, there goes our way of life in America. This is the kind of thing that makes us that much more divided and unsettled. You and I, we approach our job in a very different way. We're realists. We tell it like it is, even when it's not looking good. I'm concerned about the reaction after this election.
Well, the left wing has put themselves in a deep blue bubble. And what's amazing, I spent an hour on the show. Now, some of the people who are watching won't know that Larry and I are opposite each other in the morning. And that's okay, because I crush him. He's got a little tiny blue enclave in Maryland that listens to him. But this morning I had
I'll be later today, later this evening, I should say, I'll be tweeting out the latest ratings numbers, and I'll let everyone decide for themselves.
470 stations versus. But
yes, just one station in Washington, D.C., the mighty WMAL. It's fine. Hugh, you brought it up. I just want to make sure that all the information is out there. Please finish your thought.
The story is about the Lilliputians versus Gulliver. So this morning I have on a state rep from Colorado who's a Democrat in Deep Blue District. And I spent an hour with him because I want him to walk through what do they believe. And, he believes in all the nonsense. Boys playing girls sports. He believes in no more weapons. I mean, it's just crazy. At the end of it, I took calls. And about 7 out of 8 calls loved hearing a Democrat dig their own grave. Yeah. And then the 8th said, I was so mad at you, I turned on Larry O'Connor. I don't need to hear from a Democrat. I said, Larry talked to Democrats too. It's really
yes, I do.
But it was very funny. I said, it's okay. Larry's good host. Go over and listen to him. But, he talks to Democrats too.
Yeah, it's true. And I think it's incredibly informative to be able to talk to Democrats so that they can reveal themselves and we know exactly where they stand. And a final question here. By the way, I just want to make sure everybody realizes our incredible coverage on election night right here on Salem News Channel, live until the bitter end. Hugh Hewitt, Seb Gorka, and Andrew Wilkow will be joining me on my set to give us coverage that night. Hugh,
I'm not coming in.
It'll be great, and I can't wait to have you here, and it'll be great to see you. Hugh, thank you. Thank you for giving us really great insight going into this weekend, and go blue. More to come on O'Connor tonight.